Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another in-depth review here on N&T Auto Reviews. My name is Tyler, behind the camera, giving you guys these awesome in-depth review videos on all these brand spanking new cars, and today is no exception to that brand spanking new factor. In the fact that we are reviewing today for you guys the 2019 Volvo XC90 in the luxurious T6 Inscription trim level. Now, the window sticker is displayed here on the passenger side in the back, like usual on most cars, but I'm pretty sure you can't make it out just because the windows are so deeply tinted back here. But I'm going to read off the key information, so where all of our categories are. So first category is over here where all of our standard equipment is housed. Over here we have some features of our packages and whatnot. Obviously we have the Inscription trim level, which lists off some of the unique features. We have heated rear seats and heated steering wheel, which is an extra $750. Our metallic paint costs an extra $645. We have wheel locks for an extra $80. We have the integrated center booster cushion for the back, which costs $300. We have the special 21-inch diamond cut alloy wheels for an extra $800. A destination charge of $995, which isn't all that bad, and a total vehicle price of $65,320. Over here it shows a bunch of fuel economy information, which we'll get into just a little bit later in the video. We have parts content, so US and Canada parts from there are contained from 1%. Sweden is 40%, obviously it's a Swedish car. However, final assembly point and country of origin for the engine parts are both from Sweden. And then our transmission parts are sourced from Japan. We also have government safety ratings, chassis number, vehicle identification, all that good stuff. This car hasn't been rated because it's 2019. Literally just came off the truck, I'd say maybe about a week ago. I was unwrapping this car for these guys. So taking a walk around the side so that you can see the side profile of the XC90. The particular color we're working with today is crystal white pearl, and it's a really sharp looking color, especially on this car. And once we get closer up to the car, you could really see the metallic flakes in the paint. That is one of 7 available colors for 2019, and your wheelbase stands at 117.5 inches. And finally, wrapping around so that you can see the rear profile of the vehicle. Front wheel drive does come standard on a bunch of trim levels, however you can choose all-wheel drive like we have here. Front wheel drive and all-wheel drive kind of depends on what trim level you get and the engine you get as well. Alrighty, so let's get started with the details of the exterior on the 2019 XC90 Inscription. We're going to start up front with the headlamps that are full LED, so everything you see up here has LED bulbs, including the turn signals, the daytime running lights, high and low beams. Everything you see is completely LED. Now take a look up here on the hood where the sun is shining. Look at that pearl effect and the metallic flakes. Looks really awesome. Down here you have some sport trim with a little bit of chrome in there. And you also have, surprise surprise, some LED fog lights with your cornering illumination too. You have some nice silver trimming up down here and then up here on your grille, which is specific to the Inscription. Everything's surrounded in chrome, looking really nice, and you have the nice big Volvo emblem. That pretty much does it for the front. You can option on front parking sensors and a front camera, however this one does not have it. So nice long wide hood here and some pretty cool accents going towards the side of the hood there. And you also notice with many SUVs that there's a lot of black cladding that goes around the wheel arches. Not on this one. It gives it a really nice premium look. If we take a look down here, we have 21-inch diamond cut alloy wheels, which look fantastic. You can choose between 20-inch, a few 21-inch wheel choices, and then a 22-inch wheel choice if you're bold enough to go with the 22-inch. On the Inscription, our tires measure 275/40 up front. Ventilated disc brakes up front too, and then you have some pretty cool chromed lug nut caps. But definitely a really flashy wheel choice for the 21-inchers. You have chrome surrounding all of your windows, and then some gloss black B and C pillars over there. You have this nice chrome strip that runs the span of the two doors on the sides, and it also is inscribed with the Inscription name. You have some pretty tall mirrors there with some flat black at the bottom, your turn signals, and your crystal white paint color. And I'll flip around so that you can see both the LED turn signals and the blind spot warning indicator. Flipping around, we have some pretty cool door handles, chrome accents, and then body colored with the smart key entry on all 4 door handles. Taking a look up here, we have the panoramic sunroof, and then walking towards the back we have the shark fin antenna and some nice satin chrome rails there up top if you wanted to mount a bike carrier or something like that. Same wheels out back, obviously, but we also have ventilated disc brakes out back too, which is pretty nice to see. So in typical Volvo fashion, we have the beautiful vertical lights back here, completely LED like you'd expect. We have the badging back here, so the XC90 badging, the Volvo badging running the span below the window, and then our powertrain and trim level, so T6, Inscription all-wheel drive. We have our backup camera right below there and a trunk release. Some pretty cool chrome accents, chrome accented tailpipe finishers, some matte silver accenting down below, and then you also have parking sensors down below here too with our third wiper and a pretty nice spoiler too. That pretty much does it for the beautiful exterior here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a peep underneath the hood. So before we get into the engine specs and whatnot of this car, I just wanted to show you, as in pretty traditional Volvo manner, the hood will open to about this much as normal, but you can just kind of push the hood up like so, and it'll stop right there so that you almost get a 90-degree opening hood, which is pretty awesome. So you definitely have a ton of space to work on the vehicle if need be. But as far as the engine specifications go, it is a 2-liter turbocharged and supercharged inline 4. Produces some pretty awesome power figures for a 2-liter. 316 horsepower at 5,700 RPM and 295 pound-feet of torque at 2,200 RPM. Now, all XC90s will be powered by a 2-liter turbocharged engine. However, there are add-ons, so this one adds on the supercharger, and then there's a hybrid version that adds on the supercharger as well as an electric engine. And all of those specs will be in the next slide for you guys. But we do have a pretty large engine cover over here that blocks a lot of the engine. The belts are over here. Yeah, it looks like you have your alternator right up front though. You have your air box over here, a bunch of air intakes. A fuse box, battery terminal over there, and then your strut towers. And as you can see, the whole way around the hood there is all lined, and that really helps with keeping the engine noise out of the cabin. One more thing I wanted to point out is, see the top of the Volvo emblem right over here. You just look right up and that's where the hood release is. So it's not in the center, it's kind of offset. Just a really big hood with 2 latches. We have some labels over here that you could check out. And your washer fluid reservoir is all the way up there. There's a bunch of fluids that you could check on your own too. Alrighty, so before we get to check out my favorite part of this whole car, which is obviously the interior, we're going to see how that smart key entry system works, just because some manufacturers do it just a little bit different than others. But for an example, the key is in my pocket, so it's in a close enough proximity to sense it. As you can see, the door is open at the moment. If you want to lock it, place your finger on any of those little pads right there. The mirrors will fold in and it'll beep twice. Again, it'll work with any of those 4 pads on any of the door handles. If you want to get back in, it's simple as just grabbing behind the handle and pulling like normal. Now, one thing I really want to point out is just how solid the doors feel, or sound rather, when you close them. We are working with the maroon brown interior color choice, and it is covered with Napa leather everywhere. And it's one of 4 color options on the Inscription trim. As far as materials on the door panel, pretty much soft touch everywhere. However, you have leather up here, which has some nice contrast stitching. Some stitching up top too. You have the maroon brown color down here with a little bit of more stitching. Some nice metal work over here with the trim and door handle. Your lock and unlock buttons. And we also have 3-person memory for both the driver and front passenger. We have a Harman Kardon surround sound system, which comes standard on the Inscription trim level, and I believe it has 14 speakers for you. And it looks like we have a couple of those speakers on the door with actually a pretty good amount of storage down here. And this is all soft to the touch material. We have our normal controls, so our child locks for the doors, and then our window locks are all powered. We have our front and rear windows right over here. Our mirror controls, and if we press the left and right buttons simultaneously, the mirrors will fold in for tight parking situations. And then my favorite part of this whole interior might just have to be this beautiful wood. You can feel the grain in the wood, and it just really makes the interior look so luxurious. Looking at the left of the dash, we have an air vent, some more of that walnut wood. We have a gauge dimmer and a trunk opener. We have a little pocket over here to store some change for the toll booths. We also have a little dead pedal over there that's covered up. Actually, Volvo gives you these nice cardboard floor mats, so when the dealer has the car, it's pretty much protected from all the dirt and whatnot that gets on them. But we have our regular pedals over here, illuminated Volvo door sills, which look fantastic. And one more thing I wanted to point out is you can see the release right here for the tilt and telescoping steering wheel right up there. But I'm really glad these seats are in the sun partially, because they are just beautiful. take a look at the details on the seat. Bunch of stitching, perforations in the center. You have some nice soft leather on the outside of the seats. You have leg extensions. We have our normal power adjustments, so our backrests, our back and forth, up and down in the front and back. And then we also have our four-way lumbar, and this control also doubles as to do different things as well. But we will get into that in just a little bit. The car will be running, you'll have to see it up in the screen there. But definitely show you that in just a few minutes. These leg extensions, I have to say, they really do help out with comfort. So let's hop in into the interior. We'll check out the driver's cockpit. So I just so happened to have the key fob in my pocket, and I figured I'd pull it out to show you guys what it looks like. Now on the Inscription trim level, the key is actually going to match the interior color. So the key is wrapped in this fine Napa leather in the maroon brown color. Makes it a really premium feeling key, definitely a nice soft leather. But on the sides are where our buttons are located. We have the lock, unlock, trunk release, and on the other side we have a panic alarm. Then we also have a physical key on the inside, which we can take out and unlock the doors in case our battery dies or anything like that. But how you start this car is just make sure your foot's on the brake. Then Volvo has this pretty cool knob here that you just twist and the engine will start. So let's do that right now. So we can start off the interior in our normal fashion with the steering wheel here. It's nicely leather wrapped, nice soft leather with some stitching on the inside. Got this ridge here which gives it a pretty neat appearance too. It goes all the way around the wheel. Nice big airbag cover with the Volvo emblem there. We have some gloss black controls and some silver accents. Speaking of those controls, we have all of our cruise controls over here. We have a distance. We can set our distance that we want to be comfortable with the car in front of us. And that'll work both with your adaptive cruise control as well as your distance alert. So if you get too close to someone in traffic, it'll kind of tell you to hold off a little bit. Right over here we have some media controls, so some buttons that has to do with up there in the screen. We also have voice commands. Our audio volume are these two rockers right there. We can change between our stations and then a select for the system up there. Behind the steering wheel we have some couple of stalks. This one has a whole bunch of functions. It's for the trip on the reset over here. We also have our regular headlamp controls, front and rear fog lights, as well as our turn signals and high beams, all that good stuff. And if we turn it over here, this stalk right over here, we control our front and rear wipers. Now taking a look up here, we have a nice, I believe it's right around 12-inch screen that displays pretty much everything you would ever need. So we have our large our speedometer over here, our tachometer over here, what gear we're in over there, and then a fuel gauge right down there. We have some warnings and reminders up here. We could also choose between a few different menus with this button over here, which will kind of pop up with different media, trip settings, navigation, all that stuff. If we actually have a destination set on navigation, it'll show up in the center there. The map will show up, which is pretty cool. Once you have your phones hooked up, this screen will be more readily available with more information. But as you can see, it's very customizable. You can select what your radio's doing and you'll see it up there. So very nice upper dashboard, and it looks like it's a leatherette material and it's very soft, stitched. You have a nice big center channel speaker over there. But taking a look down here, we have this beautiful vertical screen right here, which really acts as a tablet, and it's very intuitive as well. So here's your home screen, and it kind of displays 4 different menus: your navigation up top, your radio, your phone, and then some fuel consumption and whatnot. And it's all surrounded by this nice satin chrome and then some gloss black. So first we could check out our navigation, which we can expand our map like so. We can even make it a 3D map. Pretty cool. It kind of fades out the roads as it goes on. You could set the destination right over here. We also have some points of interest ahead. Taking a look down here, which is our audio screen, it'll display all of our presets, or our local radio stations, our library, our favorites, different genres. We also have our manual tuning right there. Over here is our phone screen. It's not going to display a whole lot because I don't have my phone connected right now, but as you can see all your contacts, your recent calls, a keypad. You could switch between different phones, start making calls and whatnot via the Bluetooth, and you can also start playing music via the Bluetooth too. Press this button right over here and it'll take you to the home screen. We have some consumption figures, which obviously aren't going to be very correct because this car only has 11 miles on it. Once you start driving the car, you get a couple hundred miles, it'll become more accurate. I have some preferences. When I say this screen really acts like a tablet, it really does, because you can swipe back and forth and you get different menus, and you can swipe down, you'll get different menus, and it's a pretty intuitive screen. But down here is what I really wanted to get into, and right over here is all of our climate controls. So you select either side, it'll give you your temperatures. Over here you select that, it'll give you your cooled seats, your heated seats, and your heated steering wheel, which your heated steering wheel actually has 3 stages. So normally a heated steering wheel is just on and off. This one has 3 different stages. It's the same for the passenger side. You get your heated and cooled seats over there. And right over here you can set your automatic climate. Your fan speed is right over here. Where you want the air to blow is over here, so you have your top defrosters, these vents over here, and then at the floor you have some max AC, your front and rear defrosters, AC recirculating. You can also change your climate to where a pre-air conditioning sort of deal right there, and then you could change your rear climate too. And you could actually individualize that for your 3rd row or your 2nd row, which is pretty cool. You set the temperatures for back there. You can also set the heated seats for back there too. Pretty awesome. If we swipe to the right, we have the AM, FM audio, all your different sources up there. A sound experience, which is pretty cool. Definitely useful on a car like this. We can optimize where we want the sound to go to, so we can have it at the rear, the driver, or just everybody. We can choose the level of surround sound and then adjust our different tones. We have different messages, car status, tire pressure monitoring, service updates, reminders, driver performance, travel link, download center, so you can download different apps. We have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto when you connect your phone. We have vehicle functions over here, which we have, you can turn your ESC off, you can turn your lane keeping assist off, your parking sensors off, cross traffic alert, you can turn that on and off. Your distance alert, auto start stop, you can turn all that stuff on and off whenever you like. You can pull up your cameras really quick. Again, this one is just equipped with the rear view camera. You can also get a 360 degrees view camera system if you please. You can fold down your headrests in the back, which is pretty cool. I'm going to press that button so you can see. It'll fold the headrest down in case you need extra visibility. Again, with the more safety systems, you can turn your blind spot warning on and off. Road sign recognition, so as you can see up here, it'll tell you that the particular road that we're on, speed limit's at 35. If you don't want that blinking at you, you can turn that right off. You could actually turn your cruise control on and off through this screen too. And what's a pretty cool party trick right here, in which I would use just to mess with people, is you can actually adjust the passenger seat. If that's green, it means it's activated. And you can actually use your seat controls to adjust the passenger seat. Pretty cool there. You could go back and forth, up and down, and you could even adjust the lumbar, which is pretty cool. But once we press that lumbar button, we can get a whole bunch of different screens to where that lumbar control is multifunction. So when you press it, a few different screens will come up where you can adjust the side bolsters using the lumbar control. It'll relax or tighten. You can also choose just your regular lumbar, and then you could also choose your cushion extensions to go in and out. Which, as you can see, it's powered and it's very comfortable when it's fully extended. So pretty cool there. You can turn on and off your corner illumination in case you don't want that. This is one of my favorite ones. You could put the wipers in a service position, just kind of flip up like that and stay there. Then you can also turn on and off your collision avoidance system. Now, one more thing I wanted to show you. If you swipe down or you just press the top of the screen, you have all of your different settings. So I'll go quick through those. There's a whole bunch of them. You can of course pause the video to get more information. You can adjust your sound experience, navigation settings, media settings, climate, system settings, and then I skipped over your communication settings here. So this car does have Wi-Fi in it, which is pretty cool. And you could see by all the things that you can customize, it's a very customizable car. Also up top, you can also view a virtual owner's manual, which is pretty awesome. That pretty much does it for this screen. It's a whole bunch to take in, but once you get used to it, it's pretty darn simple. Down here are pretty much the only physical controls on the dash. We have our hazards button, which is kind of a must for quick access. Our defrosters, skipping between the radio stations. Your volume knob is right here, looking really nice. Your play pause for different inlets, and then you also have your glove box release. The beautiful wood grain coming all the way down here with some gloss black accents. We'll move the key quick so that you could better make our gear selector for the 8-speed automatic. You have an unlock lever at the back, and then you just pull it right on down into gear. Nothing too fancy, just a regular mechanical gear shifter. You also have a manual mode. We can put it back up into park. We have obviously our ignition over here, and then we also have some drive modes. So we press that in, and it gives us a few different drive modes to select from. So you have Eco, which changes it to an Eco indication. We have our comfort mode, dynamic mode, and we also have an off-road mode, which kind of restricts our speed to 20 miles an hour. Gives you a compass over here. Pretty cool. And it also, I believe it keeps you in first and second gear, maybe just first. You have some beautiful leather all the way over here with some stitching. You have your electronic parking brake, which just keeping your foot on the brake. You can activate it or deactivate it by pressing it down, or activate it by picking it up. You also have an auto hold for the brakes. Once that's active, it'll illuminate green. We have a couple of storage trays over here, one very large one with a 12-volt power outlet. You have a little place over here, and then two cup holders. And then up here you also have a smaller tray to store change and whatnot. Definitely very nice slab of wood right here. Makes it a really good looking cabin. We have a frameless mirror with a compass and your garage door home links down here. We have some emergency controls up here, your sunroof controls, your interior illumination. Turn all the interior lights on with that button right there. Up here we have our visors with some LED lights, a card holder, and then it also extends to block the light from the side. We have some grab handles. But for now, let's check out the sunroof here, and it's a very, very big sunroof with a fabric cover that blocks pretty much all the light. But this one switch here acts for both your shade and the roof. So if we put it back like so, the shade will fully open. And it opens relatively quick. It just seems like it's slow because the roof is just so big. Take a look at that. It's a huge roof. You can also push up on the button to vent the sunroof open, and you can pull back on it just like you were opening the shade, and it'll open the sunroof for the full experience there. It'll also pop up a little wind deflector there, which reduces wind buffeting. You could also put it back even more. Now to close everything, you just kind of pull back like so on the button. It'll close the sunroof. I'm going to leave that sunroof open so we can see what it looks like from the back. But for this point in the video, I'm going to adjust my driver's seat to a normal driving position for my 5'10" self. We'll check out and see how much room we have in the rear here. So this is a third row vehicle, so it does have 3 rows of seating, and we're going to test out that third row as well right after we're done with this second row seats. So as part of the Inscription package, you get some pretty cool sunshades back here, so you could shade yourself some from the sun and some pesky people maybe trying to look in on you. You have some nice leather up here as well as down here. Very, very soft armrests, some stitching, metal work, the wood just like up front. You have a power lock button back here, your power windows. You have a speaker and some storage back here. You have a little sill tray over here, which is also illuminated just like up front. And we'll put those headrests up. Now these seats do have a few different functionalities. You have this lever right here, which folds the seats down like so. So it's kind of like a cargo mode. And it does lock in place, so you have to actually release a lever. This one down here. It's kind of hard to show you with only one hand, but I'll come back and we'll get that seat up and we'll check out the rest of the interior here. Alrighty, so the only reason I wasn't really able to get that seat up is because it locks in place and you need 2 hands. But we do have some beautiful attention to detail, even on the back seats. Very nice. You also have this center seat right here, which you can also get captain's chairs, which is kind of bucket seats for back here. Another functionality of the seat is you could just tilt it forward like so that people can get into the back seats there. You can also slide the seats back and forth with a little bar down here. Let's hop in and see how much legroom we have back here. Immediately getting back here, it's very comfortable. And I have plenty of room. I'd say at least 4 inches of legroom. We have some air registers over here, some illumination back here, coat handles, coat hook. The huge sunroof continues all the way to the headrest back here. A beautiful overview of the interior. We also have climate controls back here, so it's a 4-zone climate control. You can adjust our different temperatures back here, our fan speed for back here too, and our 3-stage heated seats for both driver and passenger side. Down here we also have a power outlet in case you wanted to charge your phone. It is illuminated. We have some map pockets back here. We also have a little armrest that folds down, nice and soft, with a cup holder. And not a huge hump back here either. One thing also I'd like to point out is there's also buttons back here for the carpeted floor mats. They usually only put buttons in the front seats, if only the driver's seat, for the floor mats, which is pretty cool. Nice to see that they included that. But for now, let's go ahead and check out the third row. So we just pull this handle right over here. The seat will tilt upwards, and now it gives you a little bit of space to just climb in. The best way is just to put your right leg in first, tuck your head a little bit, and just plop yourself right on down. So, not the roomiest third row seat, just maybe a ½ an inch of legroom back here, better suited for children. However, we still have some pretty cool amenities back here, some LED lights, a couple of speakers right at your head, so you definitely get to hear that sound system. We have a vent back here, a couple of vents actually, cup holder, a little bit of storage back there too, some cargo tie downs when these seats are folded. It's not that bad of a place to be, I just wish there was a little bit more room. As you can see, there's also vents at the bottom here for your feet. And you kind of just hoist yourself out and right on down back to earth. And we can move the seat right back to where it was. Alrighty, so let's take a look at the passenger side of the XC90. No introduction is needed for this door because it's pretty much just like the driver's, just a few less buttons obviously. A couple of speakers, the beautiful wood trim. Passenger seat, as you saw already, is the same way power adjustable as the driver's. Just again, beautiful craftsmanship to the seats. Obviously all your seat controls are over there. Your illuminated door sill. And we'll hop in and see what lies underneath the glove box. See how much room we have. Just again, pop it open with this button right there. So we have a little shelf system up top, and then we also have our owner's manual and a felt lined glove box in there, which is a pretty decent amount of space. A nice little bit of wood and metal work to stare at, some stitching. Looks really, really nice. Next, let's check out the trunk. Okay, so just to show you guys, this has a full power lift gate. I'm going to press the button on the key fob. It'll pop right open like that. It also does have a kick sensor, as you can see with this little diagram here. But those don't seem to work out for me. I don't know if I just kick in the wrong place or what, but kind of strange. But nonetheless, we have a pretty good amount of space behind the third row seats. Just keep in mind you can fold them down, which I will do to show you guys. Just pull this lever right there and let the seats do the work. And if the headrest is up, it'll fold down for you. Then you have that much space behind the second row. And then you can also fold down the second row as well for even more cargo space. Back here we have a couple of accessories that come with the car. Some nice loading protection over here. Your carpeted floor mats are over here too. Lift up the floor and you'll see you have some more storage space. And then underneath here, if I can figure out how to open it up, we have our spare tire. So good to see that it comes with a spare tire. We have some extra space to store some more items. You have a little cubby over there. 12-volt power outlet back here. Some LED illumination on either side. And then also on the trunk lid, so it illuminates where you're standing. You have grocery bag hangers to either side. And then you also have a track for a cargo shade too, if you wish to install one. But the way you close the trunk is right over here with this button. You can either close the trunk or close the trunk and lock the doors. So just close the trunk right on down like so. So opening the lid to the 18.8 gallon fuel tank, you have a capless filler and it does require 91 octane fuel as a minimum. And you should be seeing right around 19 miles per gallon in the city and 26 on the highway, which isn't bad for a large SUV like this. Also, there is a hybrid variant which is going to give you better fuel economy, but it does give you a smaller fuel tank to make room for the batteries and the electric engine and whatnot. So to conclude this video, I hope you have enjoyed the 2019 Volvo XC90 in the Inscription trim level just as much as I have. I hope you stay with us and subscribe for future in-depth reviews.